and say your affirmations. Go. Wake up every day and say your affirmations. Go. Wake up every day and say your affirmations. Go. Wake up every day and say your affirmations. Go. Happiness and kindness is a choice. Wake up.
All right. There we go. Okay, we got it there. Let's check the group. All right. Yep, and it's posted in the group. All right, let's give it a few minutes for everyone to pop in.
All right, so let's see.
All right.
Chosen a cool background like you guys.
He started it though. He started it.
Yeah.
We were all playing before he came on. Saba Diamond upgraded all of us. He upgraded all of us.
Man.
I mean, really. But
Just
you're
made
over
them
there.
realize
What planet is that you're on?
Oh, that's that's the album cover right there.
A whole like, and then you got that shirt on. That's like
Oh yeah.
what's the group that sings Reasons? What's
Reasons?
Oh, that's
Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Earth, Wind, and
Yeah.
Fire.
Yes, you already know.
Beautiful. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into it. Audience members, much love and blessings to you all. Welcome to Things That People Don't Want to Talk About. Our host, God Level, is taking a brief hiatus to attend to some God Level problems, but the rest of the tribe is here. I am John Skywalker, the Sly Talker, lyricist, spoken word artist, martial artist, personal trainer, lover of life, student of psychology, and I'm a father. And as I said before, that right there, that album right there is out on all major streaming platforms. If you like positive, conscious hip hop, you should go ahead and stream that, buy it, plug in, get them vibes. Yeah. Salute.
Yeah.
King Newborn, if you would introduce yourself.
Peace. This is King Newborn. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Newborn Everything. Also, I want to add, please know and understand, this is to the community. This is a very, very, very safe place to call in, comment, questions, concerns. Even if you decide to want to hit us up on our God Level Facebook page, please do so. And as always, I am.
All right. And Diamond, if you would introduce yourself.
Etepu Uncle Jasaneb. I am now Nebu Sabah Diamond, which means Master Teacher Diamond.
What?
Hey, I earned it. These things are never self-proclaimed. These are titles bestowed upon me.
Peace.
And listen, and it's all in honor for me, as a commemoration to the work that I'm doing in our community and everything. So really appreciate that. Shouts out to all of my people, my family at Courage Unity Center of African Spiritual Science, my priestess Abut Simsut Sabaset, and Reverend Erica Nibaat Bird, and also all of my all of my students and everything. But anyway, owner and founder of the Abode of Osar Institute of Personal Excellence, as well as personal trainer, expert nutritionist, and so many other things. Father, brother, lover, and also your friend. And I'm always in service of you. Peace.
Righteous. So tonight's topic is about seasonal affective disorder, and we have a special guest to share her knowledge, her wisdom, experiences on the subject. We got Coach May. If you could tell the audience about who you are, your mission in life, and what you're about before we get on the subject.
Thank you so much for having me, gentlemen. I appreciate it, my brothers, and just this is a real serious topic. Probably people don't talk about often. but it began on a personal level for me. So my name is Coach Wame Walpole, and I own the Mark Total Body Wellness Network. I started my company as a means of synergizing various aspects of wellness when it comes to fitness, nutrition, um, emotional wellness, nutritional wellness, mental wellness, financial wellness. So we touch in all those different
Yes.
areas and really create plans that helps a person to create a synergy in various areas of their life. And so seasonal affective disorder is a huge topic around this time of year. It's something that hit me really bad about 4 years ago. If you look
Mm.
at my most recent progress pictures,
Mm.
in on my Facebook page, you'll see where I was when I was hit, like slammed with the kind of depression that had me down for almost a month. I literally could not get out of the bed, and I had to relearn, how to, function in this weather because obviously I've been in this weather before, right?
Mhm.
But something had changed physiologically with me, and I had to listen to my body and see what my body needed. And so in that slowing down, and it seemed like a crisis at the time, it actually was a wake up call, and it was a time to see what are the various things that I need in the winter months living here in Columbus, Ohio,
Columbus,
where we
Ohio.
have Ohio weather. It's not just winter.
Yeah.
It could literally be 90 degrees tomorrow, and we'd be like, and then it's like 20 degrees.
What?
Yeah. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
Colorado. Yeah.
It can get
In Colorado.
really weird here. So you just have to first and foremost become aware. So seasonal affective disorder, first and foremost, is a deficiency of vitamin D. And
Mm.
it's people who have depression or have some sort of mental health issues are more likely to experience seasonal affective disorder, but it can hit anyone at any time. Um,
Mm.
People who really have a struggle with the cold weather are going to be more likely to have aspect of seasonal affective disorder. But for me, it was a combination of both. So it was like I'd already recognized depression, was going to be something that I had to work through at a young age. About 19 years old, I was diagnosed
Oh.
with major
Mm.
depression. And so, that onslaught that came and just kind of swept me up was a wake up call. Now, the way that I dealt with it was nutritionally. I think that was the first line of defense for me, um, was to see what sort of deficiencies were going on in my body and to begin to get nutritionally what my body needed on a cellular level. So that was my
Mm.
first line of defense, hence superfood nutrition, juicing, getting fresh fruits and vegetables, throughout the day, and just making sure that I was nourishing my body. The other thing was movement, being able to get some form of movement. If it's not for me, I love lifting weights. So for you out there, it may not be lifting weights like me. It might just be
Mm.
getting on the treadmill and walking. It may be getting into a swim aerobics class. Do something where you're moving your body daily. And then we need
Mm.
that vitamin D. So an extra supplement of vitamin D, make sure it's organic, particularly something that can be like a droplet.
Mm.
We have some great resources on that, if you want to find out more. But there are tools to put in place so that we're not overtaken by this energy, by this force, that comes during these months when it gets colder.
Ashe. Ashe.
That's peace. That's peace. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Miss Queen Wame. I'd
Mhm.
like to ask you a little bit more about those droplets you were speaking of.
Yeah, so we have um, we have ionic elements.
Mhm.
we
Okay, I know about
I
that.
yeah, so I basically do I focus more on food nutrition and not
Mhm.
herbs. That's beyond my scope, but really just helping a person get the nutrition that they need from actual food. So one of the things I would say is let's get those
Mhm.
green
Yeah,
alkaline
yeah,
foods in the body, right? Like let's get those algae, spirulinas, let's get the kamut, the deep greens of the earth. Those really are great because they have lithium in them, which are great for the brain and the cellular
yeah.
activity changes. And then for us people of color, this is a real thing. It Seasonal depression really
Mm.
affects people of color on a deep way because obviously we're melanated. Our bodies regulate differently within the cold weather. So we really want to be on top of our nutrition and, not be sitting around eating um, things that can put our bodies in toxic overload. I won't call the names of those things out, but
Exactly. And and also the
hot.
melanin again affects our ability to absorb vitamin D from the sun,
Mm.
vitamin D3 actually, because we block the UVB rays,
Fact.
which the vitamin D rides on. But she mentioned like those. I'm very very familiar with ionic elements, and
Yeah,
what I love about that. In any type of vitamin D supplement, you also want to make sure that it's at least sublingual, so it gets directly into the bloodstream
bloodstream.
rather than going through the digestive system where
Hmm.
it actually be most of it can be lost going through the digestive system. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so she's hitting on it.
Yeah, and that those things are very important to me. Like as a coach, when I was looking for partners, companies that would be able to supply that for my
Yes,
clients and customers. And I found that with a superfood company that I work with out in California. So I'm able to get that level of nutrition where I know there's no glyphosate. The other thing, guys, is pesticides. You got to consider the pesticides that are being used on the food, particularly glyphosate. Glyphosate,
yes,
is damaging, so damaging to our cells. And for those of us who are, if you're out there and you're unhealthy, you're going to be more prone to some form of seasonal affective disorder because on a cellular level, you're getting so many pesticides and parasites within your body that your defenses are down. So we want to really think about those defenses. How are we building up our immune defenses? One of the ways also are pre and probiotics, right?
Mhm.
It's kind of a popular term, but again, one thing I do want to say, and I'm sure you all agree with me, is the source. Where are you getting the source of your nutrition that you're
majorly
needing to
important.
optimize your bodily health? Yeah. So
Ashe.
I know John and we've been connected with Purium for a couple of years now. I love
And me
Farm to
too.
Family. You too, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm Imperium too. Been
Wonderful.
Imperium.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're building towards helping people know like you don't have to be in a state of bondage when it comes to your health. Like you can begin to do the things that you need to do to improve on a cellular level. And then over time, time will improve things.
Tell me this, and I'm just gonna be kind of asking the questions.
Hmm.
All right, I'm not gonna be the information because I'm loving her articulation and everything. So when you talk about this, why is it so important? Because we hear this a lot about the cellular level. What the crap is that? What is
Hmm.
this? What is and why is that so important?
I want to ask the
That's a
same thing. I
good
want her to break
question.
that down. Yeah, yeah. I
Well,
wanted her to
we
break that
are
down.
a sum of cells, right? I mean, our entire mass, like the macro sum of who we are,
Mm.
the carbs, the fats, the proteins, you know, everything broken down is to a cellular level. Our the microcosm of who we are is so finite, and so we don't want to neglect that. And we do, like society has taught us to neglect the fact that we're cells and
Mm.
to neglect
Oh, So
I'm not
so
trying to be
so
I'm not trying to be deep, but I'm serious. Like
no,
honey
get
No,
deep,
go
get
deep.
deep.
Yeah, go
yeah,
deep.
Yes,
Go
get
where
deep.
deep.
everything
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
like just cut and dry that we're not thinking. When I think about what I put in my body on a day-to-day basis, whether it's good or bad, at least I know. And I know, like, okay, this is of a good quality, this is going to nourish my cells, versus this is just going to feed my body.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Intentional.
being intentional.
Hmm.
So our cells are, finite particles within us that actually make us. The cells within our brain, the cells within our skin, the cells within our gut microbiome.
Ooh.
Everything is cellular, and if it's not nourished, then what happens? It breaks down, and what do we have?
Mm.
Cancerous cells, disease
Hmm.
cells.
Dysfunction.
Yeah, so I'm really big. I'm 46 years old,
No,
and
you not.
yeah,
Why
I
she
am.
come over here playing like that?
I'm 46. I'm proud. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Amen. Like, I mean, I am truly grateful that these things have been discovered at this point in my life, because I've
Mm.
had a lot external
Mm.
things
Hmm.
that could be the reason why. Well, she is an overcomer of childhood trauma. She is, well, it would, you would understand why I would why I would break down, right?
Mm.
But
Hmm.
why I continue to thrive and continue to grow, truly by the grace of God. I say, I don't take full credit, but I know that there is that personal development. There is paying attention to what I'm putting in my body. There
Mhm.
is knowing, I can't just sit around eating hot Cheetos and Grippos and whatever else, we'd be eating out here.
Why not?
I
The
said some
fun
things.
stuff, right?
Yeah,
Sorry.
tastes good. It tastes
Right.
good.
Yeah. But I know, like, I listen to my body. And so by doing that, guess what I can do now? I can actually go outside and
Mm.
enjoy, even in the
That's
cold.
right.
I couldn't do that a few years ago.
Hmm.
That's
Every day.
beautiful.
Every
Wait,
day
wait,
I put my jacket on and I go out and I go for a walk. And like when it's
yes.
20, 30 degrees, I go out and I embrace the cold, and I'm like, hey, that we are one. It's all good. I'm here with you.
Yeah, I say. So what I heard you say then is that we are an aggregation of cells.
We
Like,
are.
Hmm.
yeah, we're an aggregation of cells. All these cells
3
that
trillion.
congregates to make up us. Okay.
Hmm.
So the thing is that I know a lot of people they talk about cellular nutrition and how good cellular nutrition is. But
Hmm.
what I found though in my career is that there's also a such thing as cellular toxins that
Yeah.
nobody ever
Mm.
talks about, because if it's not nutritious to your cell, then it's going to also be toxic to your cell, because cells have organelles just like the organism itself,
Ooh.
which is the thing. We have organs, but
Hmm.
on a very, very minute level,
Yeah,
the
my new
each
level.
cell
Yeah.
has organelles within them
Hmm.
Yeah.
that also
Yeah.
needs
Yeah.
to be nourished.
Yeah.
Mainly the mitochondria, which
Yep.
is where the
Look
energy
at
is
you.
produced.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Energy.
y'all
Okay.
know I have a
Yes.
degree
Energy.
in physiology. I'm just
Yeah.
Come
saying
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
when we talk about
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
when
he
we
pulling out the physiology.
yeah,
Yeah. The
well,
physiology
and that's
of it.
because
Yeah.
it's because when we talk about true energy, energy, everything. When they say we are energy, what we're talking about is the use of energy, even in the Krebs cycle, how it even produces its own energy in order to go through the cycle, because it needs to have, some, a bit of energy, even to complete the cycle, to create
Facts.
energy, right?
Facts.
Yep.
So,
Facts.
but the energy itself is ATP, adenosine triphosphate, right? That's
Mhm.
created there in the mitochondria. And
Mhm.
so people, a lot of times they get that confused. Like, if we're not creating that, then you're literally putting yourself at a deficit, because it's still that energy that goes into the production of antibodies. It goes into
Mhm.
production of the feel good dopamine chemicals that's in the brain. It goes into a lot of the psychic and also physiological processes that our body has to go through to process and to separate proteins, carbs, and fats, and also other micronutrients to get rid of toxins. This is why we say we're energy, because it takes energy to do all of that. Even to digest,
Right.
even to
Everything.
digest and read itself. So
Yeah.
yeah, so this is why they say that. So we have to make sure that what we're not doing is impeding that process on that cellular level, with cellular toxins, you
Right,
know.
right, right,
Hmm.
So
right.
And they're all over. They're everywhere, right?
yeah,
So what we're
absolutely.
looking for now is solutions. Like the world is so toxic, we can't get away from it. So now, you know, it's about the solutions until we can really gain some leverage to defeat companies like Monsanto. Um,
Yes.
and while
Ooh,
we're
hold up now.
gaining
Wait a
that
minute.
sort of
Wait a minute.
leverage, and we're all
Whoa.
coming together, and this is where again this wellness revolution is taking place. I know we're talking about seasonal affective disorder, but this is like a real thing, and it's
Yes.
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
much bigger. Okay,
Yes.
so we're coming
Absolutely.
together. We have to. This is why, for me as a coach, partnering with other coaches, trainers, doctors, wellness advocates, people who have a desire for solution based activity that's going to, be imparted into our world, imparted into our communities, our families, just everywhere where there's that deficit, like you said. And so
Hmm.
these partnerships are bringing solutions like what we're doing with Purium. We're bringing solution for the gut microbiome, Biomedic, the only patented blend in the entire world that can cleanse glyphosate out of our guts.
Hmm.
We need to know that.
Oh,
We
wow.
once upon a time we needed to know where the Pepto Bismol was.
Hmm.
Hmm.
There
Well,
was a time,
that's why I love that company.
right? There was a time we needed to know, castor oil. But now we're saying, hey, we can get these pesticides out of the gut with, there we go,
There you go.
Biomedic.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
And solutions. So with seasonal affective disorder, um, my first ultimate lifestyle transformation, which is a superfood protocol that helps to reset the body and really works on your lifestyle, because many of you out there, you're struggling with your lifestyle, struggling with making the necessary changes that you want to make, but you need some support. You need community. You need people that are knowledgeable, to be surrounded by. You need things to plug into that are going to build you up. It's not a diet. The quick fix
Right.
things, all these products out there is not going to do it. So
Mm.
slowing down, the first question you want to ask yourself is, what are you putting in your body?
Too
Mm.
much sugar.
What's
Ooh.
happening? What's happening?
Ooh.
Giving
Yeah, too much sugar.
somebody made a sweet potato pie omelet with collard
Wait, stop. Hold on. That's too much.
greens.
Hold on for a second. Did you say, did I hear it
A
correctly? A
sweet
sweet
potato
potato
pie
pie omelet?
Omelet. Yeah.
With
I mean, that's
Stop it.
creative. That's creative.
mashed
No, wait a minute. It's just some things are just so unnecessary.
sweet but omelet.
Wow.
Can you imagine? Can you see it? A sweet
I mean,
potato
Man.
pie?
yeah, I mean, come on now. We know the gas up in these homes is just, woo, I can't even imagine.
Hmm. Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
it's fun and games. We laugh. We got all the funny thanks, beans, greens, tomatoes, all the
Yep.
fun. But on a serious level, some people are really, you're out there really, really struggling. Your gut is toxic. You're struggling with depression. You're struggling with like just finding your bearings. And we want you to know that there are solutions. I mean, I can tell you as a coach that I absolutely love to see people's lives transform. I mean, I watched John, almost 2 years ago now,
Mm.
beginning to take your wellness to another level. Like you
Mm.
were already fit. I was already fit.
Yeah.
So we're fit and we're saying, hey, we want to work on our wellness so that we're
Yeah.
not bombarded by depression and anxiety and all of these
Inflammation.
inflammation, right? So if you're out there and you're not the health nuts like we are, you're not in the gym 24/7, there are still solutions for you. You do not have to be run down, into the bucket this fall and this winter. But this is
Hmm.
the perfect time to start working on your health, on your wellness.
Hmm. Look, I have some questions, but I'm gonna have to go out and come back in because this thing didn't log me in correctly, so I don't have what I
Okay.
so. But when I come back, I got some more questions. But so you guys continue without me real quick.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
Okay.
So in your view, Coach Wame,
Mhm.
is SAD preventable?
That's a really good question. I think that some people are going to be more prone because they already have an underlying mental health issue. Um, so they're going to be more prone. But in
Mm,
terms of preventable, I think that you can do things to prepare your body for the winter months so
mhm,
that you're not overtaken by seasonal affective disorder. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to have blue days. You're not going to have days where you're just kind of a little bit weary because of just the influx of the weather, the changes, or whatever hormonally may be going on with you. But there are things you can do to strengthen your gut, strengthen your hormones, strengthen your body as a whole.
okay, all right. Now, got another one. Would you say women develop seasonal affective disorder compared to men? Do you think women develop it more, or
That's
women are
a
more
really
prone?
good question. Actually, the statistics say that women
Ooh.
tend to really get overtaken by it more. With
Ooh.
men, right? With men with mental health issues, men tend to stuff things away. So the statistics
Mm,
are revealing that more women do because we're probably more expressive about it. But
mhm.
that's what the statistics do show. Yeah.
Oh
I think
wow.
women being more emotional will express the depression and the moods and the things like that come with seasonal depression. And men tend to go inward, tend to, you know, go within and in terms of being able to deal with what's going on with them.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
I just want to it was a little short that I was watching, and I also read a little bit of information. A short that I was watching with John Sally, he spoke on the fact that diabetes, cancer, depression, just and mental health as a whole. He was speaking about everything starts in the gut and your diet. And I hate to say the word diet, but mainly
Mm,
your eating habits.
Mhm.
Um, he was he
And that's
was
all
he was
diet is.
yeah.
mm,
Diet is just what you
Also,
normally eat. That's all.
Mhm. Yeah.
wanted to say by doing so and understanding, allowing your body time to break down, the proper food within the bite, it does automatically help with on a cellular level. He was saying that once upon a time back in late days, they used to give you oxygen and an enema when you arrive at the hospital. Those were the first two things they would prescribe before they actually try to diagnose what was going on with you. Because, like John just said, and you agreed to, and Sabadam, I know he will co-sign, inflammation within the body, and that is something that is happening with a lot of. I'm not a doctor. From what I see in our community, we
Mhm.
have a lot of these places popping up, and a lot of us lining up to go to them
Mhm.
uh, to get blood transfusions.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just want to,
No, that's so real.
yeah.
That what you're saying is so real. Like, I mean, it's it's what's happening. It's the manifestation of uh, I like to say it's fast food genocide. I don't know if you all
Yes,
have read
yes,
that book by
yes.
Dr. Joel Furman. It's an excellent book. Everybody needs to read that book. It's important that we understand what has happened historically when it comes to food in America and how
Hmm.
that affects people of color, how it affects
Right.
the inner cities, how
Food
it affects the
deserts.
rural areas, how it affects the Native American communities. Oh, food is a huge issue.
Big time.
We get caught up in the wrong type of conversations, but we start having this conversation, people get scared. They don't you start generational health, generational what are you talking about? They don't even want to know because you haven't come up to a higher plane to even start to have that conversation yet.
Right. They don't even know
You
what the questions to
you
ask.
you don't even understand what we're talking about. Like this is
Exactly.
really serious. This is the fight we need to fight. You over here trying to fight politics, you trying to fight religion, you trying to fight all these things. It's what's happened to the food industry, farm to family.
Which is still politically controlled.
It is completely yes.
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 Yes. And people don't understand that behind the politics, what really drives the politics is the main industry is the banking industry.
Yeah.
So the banking cartel, and with them, those same bankers are also in the oil industry, which also is the same industry that actually makes pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceuticals are petroleum based products, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and then on top of that, so of course they're going to be in bed with the industry that they need to create sick people to go to the pharmaceuticals. This is
Yes.
how they create their own customers.
Yes.
You understand? And then they got their agents that we call doctors that are out there selling, prescribing drugs without due adequate assessment. I mean, let's just call it what it is, And
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
And
so
I
these,
uh 3 of the top naturopaths in the country. One of them, Dr. Isawine Ahogotu, we've been taking her patients through the protocol. She does blood work on them, and you should see the A1C levels change. Also, uh, the blood work on hemoglobin, all sorts of different changes begin to happen within the body. The body goes back into homeostasis when it has the right foods.
that's right,
Yeah.
which
And
is
you
where
don't
you want
need,
your body. Tell them what
yeah,
homeostasis is, because I think they need that.
homeostasis is basically when all of your cells begin to operate in sync. Everything begins to
Yep.
operate
As
in
one.
tune and in
Yeah.
sync
Optimally.
Yeah.
optimally with
And
not only
balance.
within you but without
Balance.
too,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
feel well and you
Oh
look well.
man. And I
Like
don't
they
know
say,
if
oh, you
y'all
look
if
like
y'all
what you've
ever
been through.
felt, have you really, really felt good? And now I'll be honest with you. Now I know we've been mentioning the Purium products, but it wasn't until I did the cleanse, that cleanse, which was back in 2012, when I did that cleanse, it's still under the guide of David Sandoval, the owner itself.
Yes.
And I did that cleanse. Then I felt so good to where I was like, is this what feeling good I thought I was feeling good before,
Right.
but this was a whole nother level of wellness that I had achieved. My body had come into such a state of homeostasis to where I was like, now wait a minute, I got it's not even like you feel like you're on caffeine, but you feel like
You
there are
feel
no limits. You
amazing.
feel
Yes.
limitless.
Yes.
You feel limitless. And I'm like,
Yes.
wow. Yeah. So and
Yes.
then and I just noticed it then since I felt so good, I
Mhm.
really, really felt good about people.
And
You
you
know?
feel you really do. Your gratitude increases. Like you said, your dopamine levels are now like are able to express. Like
Hmm.
when everything is oppressed, it can't express, and the cells are oppressed, the body is oppressed, the mind's oppressed. So it can't, we can't fully express who we are. And so again, that's where personal development comes in. I'm really
Hmm.
enjoying this winter because I'm on a transformation with Rising Phoenix, our coaching support and community, and I'm just learning so much about what my body needs in the winter months. One of the things I recognize, there's going to be an increased level of sleep, and that's okay. So what I've done is just balance it out, recognizing I need to get to bed a little bit earlier
Yes.
the evening. So, all of these things when it comes to personal development, when it comes to working on our nutrition, listen, there is fruit on the other side of that, y'all. You're not going to
I
just
say.
you're not going to just do these things and get these things in alignment and there be nothing on the end. On the other end, there are things like your visions and your dreams that were held back because you were toxic. Like
Hmm.
you can't really birth
Man.
what's inside of you because you're toxic, right? You
Hmm.
spent all winter, instead of tilling for the harvest and getting the harvest ready, you was depressed in bed. And
Hmm.
this is the time when we're supposed to be cultivating and building and
I
preparing
say.
for the springtime. So this is why I've been so adamant about working with entrepreneurs and brands and different people who are dreamers in this season. And I'm like, come on, y'all, we're going to get up. We're going to get into our ultimate lifestyle transformation. We're going to work on our physical, mental, spiritual, every aspect of who we are, because spring coming around the corner, what we're doing right now matters.
Facts, facts,
Hmm.
facts.
Yeah.
I say.
Yeah, I just want to add to everything that's been said on the panel. My personal experience, I did like a 3-week water fast. It was back in 2019, and the effects that Mrs. Queen Wame and Sabadame, newbie Sabadame, I apologize. Um, One, I had more vivid dreams, a
Mhm.
lot more vivid dreams. Another thing, my energy level was through the roof.
Hmm.
Another thing that came about, just looking at colors. Normally, everything was vibrant. Everything was
Mm.
clear. A lot of my decision making was precise. Um, I don't know about anybody else, but again, my experience is seeing that people gravitated towards me a lot. Like
Mhm.
people would just walk up to me and just either start talking or asking questions. And
Mhm.
to a degree, it was irritating, but I didn't look at it as this is part of me water fasting, But as time progressed and I started doing a little bit more reading and research, these are things that are going to happen because you are coming one with the universe,
Hmm.
and you are getting rid of a lot of toxins. And I will say, you do get rid of a lot of toxins. I'm not encouraging anybody to do water fasting. I'm just saying fasting, water fasting, up
Yeah.
under proper supervision, it does help. Currently now I'm back in the gym working out, and I just haven't done this before. I just recently started doing this for the lactic acid within my body. I do a teaspoon of baking soda in my water
Mhm.
in the morning. So I've been trying to do that, and I've noticed a little bit difference with my soreness
Mhm.
from
Hmm.
working out. It's the little things, but like you said, you got to start somewhere. And whatever it is that you start at, if you make it a ritualistic practice, make it a part of your religion, you can see some effective change. I just want to share that. Like uh, um, this is good information. This is good information.
I
Saba,
say.
I know you had some questions for Wame. Do you still have time, Wame, or do you have to
I
go ahead
do.
and go?
Yeah. I have a few more
Okay.
minutes. Sure.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
Deanna.
So yeah, yeah. So let's see, what was it? So we talk a lot. So first of all, another thing that I heard you say, and I always pick up. I listen to what's in the background. So we have uh, seasonal affective disorder, which is a uh, um, we can say a psychical. It's a psychic disorder. So basically, it's a form of depression, right?
Yes. Yes. It's
So
exasperated in the winter months.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So and you saying that but it's also can be the effect can be deepened or worsened by what we physically do as far as exercise. So I heard you say that getting out and getting moving, number one.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so um and I was wondering if you can tell us what that helps, what that brings about in the body that actually helps lessen the effects of affective disorder. But also you talked
Yeah.
about so we've talked about toxins, taking in the right foods, balancing
Mhm.
the internal environment out, and
Mhm.
how that helps. So, but I wanted you also, can you please expound on the importance? Because we mentioned the bio, you said biomedic and our biome.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Why,
Gut.
why is that so important, when it comes to how our overall effect and our overall health? So,
Yeah.
yeah, so why is that important?
Yeah, those are two good questions. So the first I'll just tackle is just what you said about the importance of movement, so the body, and this is just, I'm going to make it in simple terms for you all out there, just so that you kind of get an understanding of what is going to happen if in the winter months I actually get to a treadmill and I walk, or I do jumping jacks, or you do any form of movement, right? First and foremost, you're going to sweat. And by being able to sweat, your body's going to be able to release toxins. Another thing that I recommend is sauna. Like, if you can get to a sauna, that is a wonderful way to release tension and stress out of your body. You can gently move in the sauna. Your body is just going to sweat out toxins. So when you think of movement, just think of your body being able to release toxins. You're being able to get your heart rate up and in a place where you can move. Um, and not and, another thing I do want to say is just the psychological effect of movement, right?
Hmm.
When you're still and you are sedentary, your body
Mm.
breaks down. The moment you turn on some music, you dance, you get your body moving, you are literally bringing light to
Yes,
your body. Okay,
yes,
so I just wanted to put it simple to you out there so it's not like over your head.
yes. So, number one, I do want to say that make sure that if you're going to change anything to your diet and exercise regimen, for sure, just as a disclaimer, go talk to your physician first,
Yes.
because when we as fitness and health professionals, when we talk in general terms, we're talking to obviously healthy people,
Yes.
not really those with specific disorders and illnesses. So make sure you talk to your physician to see what's safe for you to do out there.
For sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what you were saying, as far as like the gut microbiome, the
Hmm.
gut really is the heart of the body. I mean, when we think of the heart, we think of all the different valves and how blood flows from the heart through
Mhm.
the rest of the body. But starting with the gut, that's the first place that food hits before it is, it's spread to each part of your body, every cell. It first has to hit the gut microbiome. And so
Hmm.
creating a healthier gut is your first line of defense against all disease.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes.
Hmm.
Every
Yes.
single thing.
Healthy gut lining.
Hmm.
Yep.
Healthy gut. Yeah. And I think that's another reason why I'm having, again, a great winter. I've got things are a little bit backwards for me this winter. Like, I'm usually doing photo shoots and things in the spring and the summer, but this year for me, everything is like in the winter. So I've had to be very clean and, pretty much stick the book. But I love the way that it's making me feel. I love the feeling. I have self-control, and
Mm.
and it's just making me realize there's so much more to this time of year than just sitting around eating
That's
and
right.
gaining
Well, you
weight.
look great, fitting for you. You're just radiant and beautiful,
Yes.
fitting
Very.
for a photo shoot. So you're ready. So don't worry about that. You got exactly what you need.
Thanks, guys.
Exactly what you need. So, but also another thing, the most important thing is about the gut. Two
Mhm.
things I want to mention. Number one, 70% of your immune system is in your gut.
Yep.
Okay. And
Second
and the
brain.
second thing is that the when we talk about chakras, these
Oh.
energy centers in our bodies, one place that we all get stuck in that causes a lot of issues like depression, anxiety, a lot of emotional stuff for us is the solar plexus. That
Plexus.
is also in the gut. It's in
Mhm.
the area of the gut. So when you cut down on gut inflammation and any kind of gut problems, irritable bowel syndrome and things like when your gut is flowing nicely, you're gonna feel better emotionally, and you'll have more access to dopamine, which is a chemical made in the brain that makes us feel good, you know. So yeah, so that's but you hit it right on the head. Thank you, beloved,
Yeah.
for
That
you know.
dopamine is so, so, so important. Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And again, green leafy vegetables, dopamine, lithium, you're going to get that when you start eating those green leafy vegetables. Get in your collards, get in your spinach, of course, organic, get in your asparagus, get your zucchini, get those green vegetables and
Mm,
saute them, get those good oils, coconut oil, saute them, really start limiting a lot of meats and things like that, and get in those green veggies, those good carbs like quinoa, sweet
Mm.
Mm.
potatoes, black rice, just
hmm
all of, there's so much in the earth that's just healing to our bodies, and we just
Oh
have to,
man.
we just got to get back to it. Just get out of this Babylonian system, and where everything is just it's just
Hey,
out to
well,
destroy us. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't care what people think about me. People be like, you want you hand it to me? No, I don't. I don't. I'm
hmm I love what the Facebook user said, and I'm pretty sure, I'm almost sure that's Amina, although it comes up as Facebook user, and try to cook your veggies as less as possible. That's
yes,
Facts.
something that's
yes,
something that I had really prided myself in doing at a time, because you want to make sure you're not destroying
The
the
nutrients.
vitamins, minerals, but also
Yeah.
the enzymes, that
Yeah.
you're getting,
Yeah.
because people have to understand how important enzymes are. They're like little. So we have our uh, nutrient bonds, like you have carbon bonds, and how complex they are going to tell you what type of carbohydrate you're actually
Oh,
getting, whether
fam.
it's a complex carbs, medium chain carbs, or simple carbs, right? Simple carbs would be stuff like your sugar, but stuff like that, and also proteins, which is just chains of amino acids. So, and when she was talking about cellular nutrition, when it gets down to the cells, it needs to be broken down to its basic unit in order for
Mm.
the cell, because the cells use amino acids, not protein. The cell uses carbon, not carbohydrates. And
Carbohydrates.
the
Yeah.
cells uses lipids, not fats. You see,
yes,
so these are all the things that chain together to make up what we call the macronutrients. That's why they're called macronutrients. But in
Yeah.
their
hmm
Right.
micro form, they're just a single units. So these enzymes are like the scissors. They help cut the bond so they can be existing in their single unit, rather than an entire thing. But if those things, if without the enzymes, they can't be cut down, and so again, the cells are not being fed because it's too big. It's too big in order for the cell itself to take it in as nutrients. You know,
Mm.
so that's another a very very important thing to understand. So, but you're opening up such a big can of worms, because now I want to talk about,
I know, right? We could go
because
on,
now,
and I
yeah.
love hearing you speak. I mean, I love
Mm.
it so. Now, as you're speaking, I'm feeling like I'm back in school, and except I will pass the exam because I totally hear everything you're saying. But yes, you
Yeah,
know what you're talking about, and it's so so good, and it's just an important conversation for us to continue to
it
have.
is.
We
It
really
is.
got to do this, guys, because our society, our families, it's affecting especially the mental health. I know, excuse me, John,
Yes.
you talk a lot about mental health and what's going on in our society today. Man, that is what's happening with our food is a
Yeah.
conversation to be had. So
That's the effect. That's the
yeah,
effect.
yeah,
Yeah. So, but you also mentioned, you keep saying make sure it's organic. Make
yes.
sure it's organic. See, and that's a whole nother. So we have to talk. I know this is not just about nutrition, but we understand that this is the causation
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm.
things like seasonal affective disorder, right? It's
Mm.
in which is the effect.
Yep.
So anytime, and what I love about this is intelligent conversation, and this is why I say that, because the topic can be the effect, but the discussion has to be about the causation.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So this is what we're doing. We're not going around the topic. We're talking about the causation of the topic. So y'all pay attention. I hope y'all taking notes. All
Mhm.
right, because
And
she's bringing up some great stuff.
and also we have solutions.
Yep, that
I
part.
say, yes.
Actual solutions, like actually you can begin to do the work. And you see how we're all talking here, the intellect and the heart level. I mean, there's a lot of heart in this
I
conversation.
say,
One, you got to first love yourself and love yourself enough to
Mm.
want to take care of
mm,
your health and your wellness. And
I
so we
say,
really have solutions, and you can connect with the brothers. You can connect with me directly, but real solutions where you're not just getting products, but you're getting an experience where you're going to have the kind of support so you can break through into that next level of yourself.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm,
being
Mm.
able to do that literally when I tell you, I see this whole um almost like an army of people who are going to finally realize, wow, not only can I live healthy, but I can help others at the same time.
Impact.
I can
Yes.
make an impact on the lives of farmers. I can actually build that inner city farm. That I like you start not just thinking about you, but when you break through seasonal affective disorder, what is that going to mean in the inner cities? What is that going to mean in the
mm-hmm,
broken areas within our nation, right? Like, listen, it's so much bigger. So the solutions are there.
mm-hmm.
Every
Absolutely.
level they are there. They are there.
Mm-hmm.
And they can lead you
Absolutely.
into an amazing life. Look at last thing I'll say is look at the celebrities. Like Halle Berry is a perfect
Hmm.
example. She has type 1 diabetes, aging well. We're not looking to them for our lives. I'm saying that one thing they got is they're looking good if it's not surgery because they
Mm-hmm.
know how to get these right foods and things that people have to have the energy to be able to do their craft or whatever. So we now have access, regular people, whereas maybe years ago it was a celebrity thing or you had to be the elite to have access to certain things. But you have direct access to farms, to be able to connect with farm to family
Mm-hmm.
and strengthen,
Yes.
improve, and literally optimize your health and your wellness.
I say that, and that's where I was going when I was talking about the organic portion of the conversation. And I
Hmm.
hope I'm not keeping you up, but it's just so
It's
much I want to
good.
talk
It's
about.
so good.
But
I got like 5 more minutes.
okay, but so real quick, because we know that all organic is not,
Up,
so
up, up,
just
up.
because it says organic,
Here we go. Yeah.
I
Hey,
give
we
you
got to do
no
it.
no
We got to do
credit
it.
for the
No,
word.
we got to do it. No, it's real. He's real. Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
So one thing, again, and I'm sorry if this is just a continued long shameful plug about Purium, but one thing that I love about them is that they took out the middleman, and when it comes to cultivating their own organic vegetables and things like that for their product, the product is something like 90 to 95% organic,
Yeah.
and and it's because they have their own farm there in Utah
Mhm.
and everything else, and they don't use Roundup.
Yep.
They and I had this
There we go.
conversation with David personally, how
Mhm.
he knows how to combine certain herbs and plants in order to keep insects away. He knows how to do all that. And
Yes.
Mhm.
but the thing, but it's important that we understand what true organic looks like, because now that the government has actually um, commandeered the
Come on.
name,
Yeah.
they took it away, and now they want to charge everybody to say that they're organic. But they also, in the process, have changed the standards of what organic is. Now,
Exactly.
now remember that organic first, some of the key things that was there is that organic meant that the food had to be grown in nutritionally rich soil. And it takes a minimum to grow any vegetable and to nutritionally fortify that vegetable. It has to be a minimum of 52 nutrients are present in the soil. Now, so what they did was they took that out. So that's not necessary for organic anymore. Okay, so now it's because they want to continue to use what they call the commercial fertilizer, which is an NPK
Yes.
fertilizer, right?
Yes. Come
Nitrogen,
on.
phosphorus, and potassium, and that's it. Three
Mhm.
nutrients that they use now to grow these vegetables,
Mhm.
right?
Man,
So
man,
again,
man.
that's another reason why. But then if they did that and just say, well, we didn't use pesticides or hormones, so they can say that it's organic. You see what I'm saying? Just because they didn't say pesticides or hormones is in the food. But
Yeah.
remember, but at the same time, food still can be GMO, so genetically modified, and still be considered organic.
Yes.
So you guys
Absolutely.
gonna have to know the language that's being taught. You're
There's
gonna have to know the language.
there's an article. If you go to Healthline and you just pull reading food labels, pull
hmm
that up. It's a little reading food labels for dummies kind of article.
hmm
Something so simple for you all out there. Learn how to read the labels. There's so much language that's being manipulated. And when I went to school for dietetics, and we call it nutritional quackery.
Yes.
So, you want to be aware of this language that's being used on labels. And Healthline, how to read food labels. Google that. Just put Healthline and then put how to read food labels, and an article is going to come up, and it breaks down how to read each of the language that's used, the deceptive language that's
Yes.
used.
hmm
Very, very helpful article. So check it out.
Yeah. Because you got to know, if you're trying to avoid sugars, you got to know all the names to the
Ooh,
sugars.
Got to know the names.
You got to know all the names to the
The names
sugar.
of the oils, the names of the different additives, the GMOs. All you got to know. Learn them. Learn them.
But the biggest deception and scheme that's been pulled is they have taken sugar, which still is a recognized, even if it's refined sugar, it's still
Yeah.
recognized by the body, and the body knows what to do with it, right?
Mhm.
So the whole point is overconsumption. But they've demonized that and replaced it and said, we're going to give you this other thing, that's really not even a real food, but it ain't sugar. So they demonize that so much instead
Yeah.
of coerce you into quality, to portion control and things like that. But they
Yeah.
giving you aspartame, they've given you high fructose corn syrup, they've
Yes.
given you they've given you all these things that has caused more problems than refined sugar ever has.
Yeah.
So again, you got to know the language.
You
The
got to
gloves are
know.
off.
Get the
You got to
language
know.
right.
Knowledge
Mhm.
is power. We perish for the lack of
Yes.
knowledge. Like, don't be ignorant. Just don't be ignorant. Question things. Like, one thing about me is I will question to a T. I was one of them little kids. I wanted to know. I'd be like
Why?
pulling
Why?
on my
Why?
daddy's leg. Like, why? I want to know, why is it green? Why is all
Yes.
the details? And when you do that, you need to be inquisitive. This is your health. This is your
That's
wellness.
right.
You're about to put it in your
Diabetes
body.
runs in my family. I watched my sister almost die of leukemia.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to live
I keep
a
getting
life where we're on
confirmation.
a premature death. And
Mhm.
I really have a heart to just speak to people of color out there, especially because we have to wake up. We've got to open our
Mhm.
eyes to see, like, this is the actual warfare that we're engaging in. It's not
That's right.
it's not anything else. This is the one. This is the one we have to tackle. Like, if we want to see the kind of empowerment that I know that our ancestors died for us to be able to have, then we've got to be able to say no. I'm not spending my dollars. Take that. No, I refuse to give McDonald's my money. I refuse to give Kroger. Yeah, I said Kroger.
Yeah.
I refuse to do certain
Yes.
things, right?
We
When you
gonna get
start,
canceled.
No, he ain't. No, he ain't.
Now, our view is going to hold us up because this is, again, things that people don't want to talk about.
Facts.
So-
I know.
Facts. Big
this
facts.
was
Big
great. I
facts.
appreciate y'all and the time. Thank you so much.
Oh man, I am falling so in love with you in this little time. But thank you so much. I really, really
Yes.
appreciate your
Thank
presence.
you guys. All right. Have a good one, brothers.
Salute,
I
love,
say,
salute.
All right.
Peace, peace, peace.
wow, man, that was
Do
a
we have
treat.
her information to post in the comments?
Yeah, well, not in the comments here, but so what we'll do is everyone, audience members, please go to the things that people don't want to talk about group. She's going to post her information on there. And also, you know, you can get in contact with her. Again, I want to refresh this this banner right here. So this is the Purian website. However, you would gain a better benefit and you would save some money if you contact either Dion and myself or even her, right? So that we can get you plugged in. You know, so it's essentially just going to be a conversation or a consultation, right? We'll talk about what your goals are, what you're trying to accomplish. Because like she said, it's not just we're giving you supplements. We're giving you, that's not the whole point. This is a lifestyle change,
It's
right?
guidance,
So,
it's coaching. You get all that with
yes,
it. So it ain't just
yes,
by itself. You
yeah.
know, so yeah, so and as it says, you know, you get some discounts through contacting one of us. So, but but I'm glad we talked about that because it's it highlights the reason. And she said something so important in the beginning, how she was looking for something healthy to recommend for her clients. And I think, see, and that's a true heart of a true humanitarian, somebody who really cares about people.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Quality.
So
Being
yeah,
of
but I'm
service.
saying that it's not about money. You
No.
know, money is secondary or maybe even tertiary. But the first thing is service to mankind. That's
Yep.
what's
Being of
primary.
service. Yep.
You
Being of
know,
service.
we don't get in this industry to be rich because it's not one of those industries that make you rich.
Right.
But you definitely find a sense of purpose, and you experience more happiness and more joy because you are being of service to people. That's why I continue to be, exactly this. No matter what, in some form, I'm going to be of service to people.
Facts.
I
Facts.
say,
Facts. Facts. Big
man,
facts. Peace, 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 man. You know what? I love and hate both of you gentlemen so much.
yeah, likewise, man, likewise. The feeling is mutual.
Man. From our last conversation, man, I almost had tears after we got off the phone, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is too much confirmation of not just the journey, but more things to come and strict decisions that I'm making, and tonight just was another confirmation from both of you brothers, and
Man.
I just hate you a whole lot, love you. You hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice one right there. I hate you a
I'm
whole
feeling
lot,
that.
love you.
Oh, I love it.
Hate you a whole lot, love you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm appreciative of tonight. Big
I
time,
say.
man.
I say.
Big time.
But
And I
that's the
know
thing, yeah.
And I know topics of health can be very overwhelming for those who are unhealthy or have a history of being unhealthy. I know it's overwhelming. Just, talking to people and it's just like, yo, I don't know where to start. I've tried this, and not seeing the results. Of course, there's a lot of variables that's at play here. And a lot of the times, one of them is a lack of commitment because, again, we're somewhat results oriented, but we're also impatient. So sometimes, we tend to go for the quick fixes. Oh, what this can take off 10 pounds. Oh, okay. Oh man. So this has got all my vitamins in it. Okay, cool. So it really is a lifestyle change, and it's one habit at a time.
That's
Focus
right.
on one habit at a time, just one. And once you get that in, I like to say automated, because that's what habits are. They're pretty much automations. But once you get it automated and you don't have to consciously think about it every day, then you move on to another habit. So something like,
right.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to shop healthier. Of course, there's a prerequisite here. You got to know what to look for, reading the back of the boxes, looking at the back of the bags and such, right? So that would, of course, be the first step, right? It's just knowing how to shop. That would be the first one. And of course, I also understand and I deeply empathize with the folks that are in food deserts. So we're talking about the hood here.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking
Explain
about
explain what a explain what a food desert is, beloved.
Boy, y'all
so
hitting
it.
so heavy tonight. Y'all hitting so heavy tonight,
Hey,
bro.
hey, real straightforward. Real straightforward. If you're living in a rural area, typically, if you're living in a rural area, or if you're living in an underclassed neighborhood in poverty, in the projects, in the hood, you're typically going to be in a food desert. So we're talking about the quality of food. You're going to have like liquor stores
Mhm,
and like
mhm.
Piggly Wiggly stores and like a
Fast
Walmart
food
right there,
restaurants.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the quality of food. When we say food desert, we're not saying per se that there isn't any food available. We're really talking about the quality of food. So I don't want to convey that this panel is saying it's just that easy, because some people really are in food deserts where they don't have that access. It's,
Access.
hey,
Yeah.
I don't have a car, but the grocery store is like two miles down the road, but the quality of food there is very subpar. So you
Yes.
got to go like 30 miles just to get to some quality, so I really do empathize with those folks, and there are ways around that. But I just wanted to highlight that this whole thing is in the context of wellness, and this is just one lens, right?
Gotcha.
And
Yeah.
even though this is about seasonal affective disorder, as Diamin and as Diamin and Wame has said, it's not just one thing that leads to a solution. It's several solutions, right?
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to highlight that part.
I say.
Man, that's
I,
peace, bro. And
yeah.
I just want to add a farmers market, and if you can, this will work for me. Like John Skywalker mentioned, what I used to do, I used to buy 10 gallons of water and keep them in the truck with me. Whenever I went inside a store or one of the truck stops, every time I touch something that I know I shouldn't have, I say, "So what, you gonna simp out now? You gonna get weak
Self-talk.
minded now? I know you know how it tastes. I know. Okay, well, we're just gonna hold on to that memory and we're gonna walk away." And and it seemed like the more and more I did that, the worse food smelt to me.
Yeah. Yeah. You can
Man,
start smelling the
you
toxicity in
can
it.
smell
Mm,
everything in it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only saying this because I remember it like it was yesterday. And I mean, Sabadama, you already know, Master Skywalker knows as well. I try my best not to call upon my ancestors, my mom, my dad, those that have passed before me, because they real quick to respond lately now. And this is my confirmation for things I've been asking about. And like you said, it's the small habits that you make a ritualistic practice. You got to start small and work your way up. There's steps to this. And that's why I hate both of y'all. Love y'all so much, man. Like, I didn't expect it to even go this way, and it went this way. And it's like, well, your answer again. So now what you gonna do?
Right.
Challenge. Now what you gonna do? Challenge.
Right.
So yeah, this piece, man. This is overwhelming peace. This is peace. But yeah, hate, love y'all.
I say. I say. I did want to also when you mentioned farmers market, that's something I always recommend to my clients, because
Mm,
you want to get right in touch. This is how you can control your food. But remember that commercial vendors have now infiltrated farmers markets. So now what you have
true.
to do is you have to know what type of questions to ask when you go into a farmer's market to know if you're getting the most nutritious foods.
Mm,
Because a lot of these farmers who are not subsidized by the government, they don't have necessarily have the money to pay for the label
yeah.
that says that they are organic.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you have to ask them, what type of process do you use to grow your produce? Ask them that question. Then you listen for, if they say, well, we use a commercial fertilizer, at that point, just walk away.
Right.
Hmm.
Right.
At that point, just walk away. That means
Yeah.
they're government subsidized.
Yeah.
If they say that we use a mulch, and we trade and move the crops around, And they start describing what they're describing is an organic process.
Yeah.
That's what they're describing. If they say we use a mulch, they cannot say the word organic because you could be an agent. And if you're an agent and they use the word organic when they're not certified to say that word, a big old fine could be slapped on them and they can lose their farm. This is how Monsanto has gone around and got the farm rights to a lot of these other smaller farms.
And
Yep.
seeds
Bottom out.
right.
Similar like
Yep,
that.
it's the seeds. Yep.
That's right.
Bottom
Them
out.
seeds.
Seeds
That's
right.
they sure did.
Yeah.
hmm So you have to make sure because they're trying to control all of that. But just keep in your mind that Bill Gates, a software engineer and developer, just bought the largest amount of agricultural land out of anybody else in the U.S. So just think about that. This guy who was at the head of the vaccines and things like that.
Yep.
I'm just saying,
that.
just
Making the connections.
yes. So understand, like I say, what we're talking about here is the causation of the effect, which is the topic, which is seasonal affective disorder, and that's just one aspect of a mental condition that can be that can result from having poor nutrition, poor exercise habits, and just a poor awareness of your own body and a poor a relationship with your own body. All right. So you have to be looking to improve that. It is really a life or death situation. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny that you mentioned that the right question to ask a farmer. Me and a associate was joking around, but he was like, "Yeah, man, if they say they ain't using no done, don't even worry about it." And I was like, "Done." And he took me all the way back to the first time I went to Grant's Farm, and he was like, "Yeah, you can go out there and play with the done if you want to." So I'm throwing quote unquote not knowing cow chips manure. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
That's disgusting.
I know. It seems like it, but I mean, just that's part of the process.
Yeah, it is right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Listen, when it gets down to it, though, brother, it ain't none of this. I'm talking about when you look at it from a chemical level, because it's really from that level that you start to understand what's healthy and what's not. All of this stuff involves bacteria. It involves microorganisms and rotted things that create these things. So so I'm just saying it's not ugly. It's not pretty. It is very ugly on that level. But then on the macro level, we get to enjoy the fruits of that labor of the dung.
That dung, man. He said, "Yeah, pick up one of the cow chips, see how far you can throw it." And I'm like, cow chips. Hey man, and this before hand sanitizer. You hear?
Right?
For hand sanitizer, yeah.
Hey man,
Yeah,
stanky situation.
Yeah, big time, big time.
But it is what it is. You know that the I got to throw some comedic stuff in there. But when we talk about dung, and the god or the Netzeru by the name of Kepura, which is our transformation, our ability to transform from a weakened state to a more powerful state and to come forth and become who we are meant to be. We call that a Kepura or Kepuru, when it's expansive, right? And so the thing about Kepura, its symbol is the dung beetle. The dung beetle, which is seen rolling a big ball of cow dung all over the place. I've seen that they still do it today, and they roll this big old ball of cow dung, and then and what they see coming out eventually, what you'll see coming out of that cow dung is baby beetles. So it just seemed like from something so dead, there springs forth this life.
Still life, yeah.
Yeah, but the whole time, the larvae has been feeding on that cow dung, has been taking nutrients from that cow dung. So just understand that that's the same thing that we're doing. It's still things like that are still giving us what we need. All right. So just understand, guys, there was no stone left unturned when it came to creating you. No stone left unturned. Okay.
Man. Yeah, who he said Sam?
Yeah, Sam.
What?
Sam Jenkins. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You got to get you an elder. This is the best place to pop up on a Sunday at 7 p.m. It's the best place to pop up. Yeah, you got to get you an elder. This completed the cycle on God
Yeah,
level.
for
Things that people don't
real.
I
want to
say,
talk about. Yeah,
I
this
say,
completed the
I
cycle.
say,
Yeah, it was like our confirmation, and the beauty of it, our elder sought after us.
Mm.
So
I say.
it just gave us more peace within the circle, within our unit. And that's beautiful, man. Man,
I
y'all don't
say.
even understand. This is a kick in the throat and everything else. Like, okay, so now what you gonna do now? You asked, I delivered, you gotta apply now. So yeah. I
I
can't
say,
believe y'all, man. That's a cold game. That's a cold game.
hey.
That's
That's
what's
it.
up, though. That's
That's
what's
it.
up.
Now we locked and loaded. That's for sure.
Definitely.
Locked and loaded.
Yeah, and the bond is real. It ain't fake. It's very, very, very organic. Like for real, for real.
Mhm.
So I wanted to hit on one more thing because this was and I know we're winding down on time. Um, but someone had mentioned about getting enough sun and things like that to prevent things like seasonal affective disorder and also other mental conditions. And why is that sun? Because it's not just about being in the sun, but it's about the life-giving properties and essence of the sun. So it's that essence that we actually called Ra. It wasn't the sun itself.
Mhm.
Actually, Ra, that essence, in one Kemetic text, it said that Ra possessed the sun, so he owned the sun. The sun was an aspect of Ra, so therefore the sun itself was not Ra, but they call him the sun god. But when we talk about that effect, that life giving, that life force, that chi, that prana, all that stuff that comes on these different levels, all of it starts from the sun, and the sun itself does deliver us a vitamin D. And you have to wonder, like, wow, how can that mineral, how can that vitamin come from something 93 million miles away? How do we still get that? And why is that important? And so what I've found was research have shown. Now, number one, vitamin D brings a reduced risk and also prevention of depression, of any kind of depression. And but research have found that so certain vitamin D receptors on cells in regions of the brain that are linked to depression have when they become deficient, then it starts to affect the central nervous system. It starts, and again, and the producing of certain chemicals like dopamine and also like man, what do they call them? Um, uh, I'm drawing a blank here, but it's endorphins and things
Oh
like
yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
so these feel good chemicals all also the part of the process is taking in vitamin D, and vitamin D on these receptors in brain cells. So without that, they're not activated. They're not activated. So this is why vitamin D is so important. And you understand that every disease, from diabetes to high blood pressure to depression to all kind of things, every one of them have is linked to a vitamin D deficiency.
Yep.
Every one, and among other vitamins as well. But just understand something, how important that is, and and just know that nobody has ever got a disease from lacking herbs. It's always from lacking vitamins and minerals. So that's the first thing
Bars.
that's the first thing we should go for, is to fortify our bodies with nutrients, not herbs. And I'm not saying herbs are not important. Herbs are medicinal. That's
Mhm.
medicine for when we are sick. Then we go to herbs instead of pharmaceuticals. You see, but the
What
first
he
thing
talking about?
that you should be doing is going to make sure that you are getting food that is fortified with vitamins and minerals. This is why she kept talking about organic, is to make sure that that's happening. So anyway, just wanted to leave you guys with that, and thank you for allowing me to speak
Man,
tonight.
Ashe. Man, Queen Wame. She
Really.
sparked a good one. She really did. She sparked a good one. Yeah, shout out to John Skywalker, Master John Skywalker.
Yeah. She just hit me up. She said, "Great conversation." Yeah, we did that, y'all. We did that.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. That's a big build right there.
So we just want
Yes.
to remind you guys out there, our viewership. Look, we're not making any strict recommendations, except for if you feel like you've had symptoms of losing interest in activities that you once enjoyed. You're experiencing changes in appetite. You gained some weight. You're having problems with sleep. You got low energy. You're lethargic. You're having feelings of helplessness, worthlessness. Even feeling irritable, and you're having difficulty concentrating, and it's been happening for the span of 4 to 5 months. Okay, that is an indicator. It's an indicator that you likely have seasonal affective disorder. But you cannot say, "Oh, I have it." Right? Don't self-diagnose. We're not recommending that you guys self-diagnose. We're just raising awareness on this topic, that if you have these symptoms and they've endured for the span of 4 to 5 months, then you should go get looked at. You should go seek a physician and say, "Hey, these are my symptoms. What do you think?" Get a professional opinion on that. Then you can start treatment. All right. Seasonal affective disorder is essentially a form of depression. So it's not something that's separate. It's actually under the umbrella. And the main difference between major depressive disorder and seasonal affective disorders, it's really about duration. Major depressive disorder tends to persist longer than seasonal affective disorder. And I hate fun facts. Why do we come up with fun facts? One fact about this also is it doesn't have to be just in the winter. It could also be in the summer.
Right.
It could also be in the summer. So it could swap, right? But again, shouts out to Coach Wah.
Yes,
man.
Yes.
She did that. She did that.
Come back. I hope she come and join us again.
Yeah, I say to the queen, man. I say to the queen, man.
Yeah, that was a wonderful choice. Do you guys have any closing comments? I'll close this out. I got something in the chamber. Y'all got any closing comments?
I just want to tell everybody out there, if y'all want just a full out health and wellness session, here that we talk about, the only thing, if we give it, I want people to call in, because you're gonna have to ask, so we can make sure that we are we're guiding this topic to something that people actually want to see. So we're answering questions and things like that. So call in, give us the questions and things like that. So and we'll come with that. We'll come with that type of show.
Yeah, results and solutions. Results and solutions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we want to empower you guys to make the changes that you recognize that need to be in yourself. So and it is all within the context and the experience of self-love. What you do for your body, what you do for this vehicle, it's going to allow you to fulfill your purpose here on Earth. It's going to allow you. It's hard to fulfill that higher mission that you set out to manifest here. It's hard to do that when I don't feel like getting up out of bed. I got low energy. I can't concentrate. Like you're not in your optimal state to even fulfill this, and then you start feeling overwhelmed, and it becomes a cataclysm of events. So, with that being said, King Newborn, you got anything?
Hey, I just want to say, like always, each and every Sunday, 7 p.m., things that people don't want to talk about, presented by God Level and God Levels podcast. please, if you're watching this and you're paying attention to this, like, share, not only comment, but I'm pretty sure it's something within all the episodes that we have um posted on all social media platforms.
Right.
On the social media platforms, man, take time out to spread the word.
Yes.
We are here for the community. We are a service for the community, and it's important. It's game changers like this that we help everybody get well mentally and physically.
That's
And
right. That's right.
yeah, it's important. It's important.
Yeah. I'm gonna raid Master Skywalker's closet too. He has
Facts.
yeah,
And
the dude be sharp. I don't
he got a plethora. A plethora.
I got a few.
Yeah.
I get lucky sometimes.
Okay.
I don't know where you get that lucky from. You have to
Yeah,
get
hey, I got lucky
man.
twice. I got lucky twice.
I don't know. I don't see them more than just 2 articles of clothes.
Man, talk about it, Saba. Talk about it, Saba. I done seen more than, man, at least 7. I done seen at least 7.
That's something.
Yeah, I done
If
seen
this dude
7.
just be sharp as I don't know what. I really was when I saw that picture. It took I was gritting my teeth when I typed something nice in there, but that's not what I was feeling because I was like, "Oh, this dude looking good like this. What is going on?"
Man. Hey, low.
If I would have
yeah.
took the head down just a little bit, y'all would have saw that God level hat because it was there. That was the God level hat.
Right.
Saba Diamond. Have you
Yes, sir.
seen the shoe game though?
Yeah, I've seen the shoe game. That's what I'm saying.
He got a pair of cognac. He got a pair of cognac shoes that hey. He be doing his thing low key, man. Low key.
Yeah, low key. Yeah, that's key right there. It'd be low key. Like you don't wear nothing else but like you always wearing fitness clothes. Yeah, because they're comfortable. I could take it up, but this is.
And that's another thing I gotta say. See, man, I don't like y'all because I'm always wearing work clothes or basketball shorts until I have to like go ahead and go boom. Oh, I didn't know you had other clothes.
Right.
Yeah. You should just go ahead and just take a selfie. Like, you know what? I'm feeling myself today. I'm gonna go ahead and show. Let me just boom. Oh, y'all didn't know I could do it like that. Well, here
exactly.
You go.
Now you know. Now back
now
to
you know.
Program.
Let me. I just wanted to remind y'all. I still got it.
Yeah.
I'm still. What he said. I'm him.
Don't let the lifestyle fool you because we got this covered. Right?
Yeah. That's peace, though, King. That's peace.
Yeah. So I'm gonna kick it off like this. I said, going on a fast by slowing down, like the Flash, without the backlash from Babylon, the slave masters, dream machine, breeding slaves, feeding slaves, beliefs of freedom, but won't free the slaves, keeping slaves working overtime to be mentally weak for days, steering them from the path they've traveled on, with seductions from the map that babbles on. Don't let them multiply, divide the youth. Father, mother, sister, brother, divide them too. Then divide by 2 until they're half nothing. Feeling incomplete, always bragging that they have something. As they dream of being the minority, dreaming their colored skin is a deformity. Intoxicated, discombobulated, dominated, denominated, decimated, and confused. Segregated, poisoned, incarcerated, subdued. The American dream is not American truth. Believing in the white hope, that's superstition. Believing in yourself, now that's the true religion. The body is a temple. Starve it of impurities, no cheese, no meat, no insecurities, less inflammation, more greens, more seeds, less acid, less suffering, and many other things, right? Till my perception becomes the cleanest, unlock the clarity like an Xbox achievement, check my ego like a pulse, but I need it without one, an ego-less world where peace is the outcome and truth eventually will come out like loose teeth with rude speech. See, This devil and this ego is the lie. They both tend to hide like Jekyll. Two sides inside two sides inside one person, making two of one kind like Gemini. Ooh, whoa. See, we need more balance within ourselves. When balance is achieved, that's when justice prevails. So, gotta bring justice to your temple. Detoxify, it's hard, but it's simple. Let meditation be your medication. Overdose in your elevation. The American dream is a hell of a drug. The powerless stay looking for the plug. So I unplugged from the machine, living solely off my solar energy. As I say, purify the mind, purify the body. Purify the mind, purify the body. So you can be free. And that's that piece. Thank you to everyone who's been plugged in to this broadcast and to this energy and to this vibe. This is things that people don't want to talk about. Stay tuned. We will be coming up with the next episode. Actually, we're going to be doing ADHD. Yeah, we're doing ADHD next week. So we're going to have some special guests on the podcast for that one as well. It's all about the health. Health is wealth.
Health is wealth. Health is wealth.
Health is not an expense. It's not an expense. It's an investment.
Thanks.
So, y'all bless up, healthy people, good people, and we're out.
Peace.